Hi, there are 5 elements to clarity in the way we define the word at Stillwater. What do I want and what will I do to make it happen? How am I going to get there? What are the actions and conversations I'm going to take? What's the timeline? What are the prices I'm willing to pay to make it happen? And why is it important to me? Now, our words are our thoughts made visible, so in this video, we're going to present some phrases that can serve as warning signs that we haven't yet reached a place of clarity. The first red flag is the phrase, I don't know. Now, this is a completely legitimate statement when it comes to statements of objective reality. So if someone asks you the capital of Peru or how many floors there are in the Qutub Minar, you either know or you don't know. So saying I don't know here does not represent a lack of clarity. It's just an honest, factual statement. Similarly, you can legitimately say, I don't know when it pertains to externalities or the future. Is Brazil going to win the next World Cup? I don't know. But if you say, I don't know about the things that lie within you or within your control, then saying I don't know signifies a lack of clarity in the way we're using the word. I don't know how I feel about him. Well, if you don't, then who does? Sometimes we say I don't know because of fear. If I say I love him and I want to be with him, but I'm not sure how he feels about me, then that's clarity. If I say I don't love him, but I'm afraid that I'll hurt him when I tell him that, then that's clarity. What is getting in the way of making those statements of clarity is a fear of rejection and a fear of being judged. And so we pretend that there is another individual inside of us, a stranger, and we can only guess what they're feeling or thinking. We end up dividing ourselves and creating a mask that gets in the way of our authenticity. Another way we avoid our fears is by being vague. I want a job that is meaningful and rewarding. Now, this is superficial and vague. Everybody wants this. But when we say, I want to be a marketing director of Unilever by the age of 40 based out of London, then I just made it real. And that's scary because it might not happen, because you might fail, because you might be disappointed, because you might be hurt, because people might think you're delusional, because people might think you're arrogant, because you might make sacrifices that you regret later on. You need courage to reach a place of clarity. Even if we're not being vague about what we want, our fears might have us insert qualifiers like, I guess that would be nice, or maybe that's something I'd like to do. We act like we don't know what we want, what we feel, what we think, what we believe, what hurts us, what inspires us. We say, I want to get to know myself better, learn more about myself, I want to understand myself. And the view we are presenting here for your consideration is that there is no stranger here to interrogate. It's just that we're scared to acknowledge them. And this may be something that does not resonate with you, but part of this program is going to be throwing perspectives that may not match the ones you currently hold. And our point of view is that if you ask yourself the question, do I want to go on a journey where my beliefs are challenged? Then the answer cannot be, I don't know. Because it's not a question that you need to look outside to answer, and there is no stranger inside that is withholding that answer from you. If you want to know what you want, you just say the words, I want, and then complete that sentence. The words that come out can only come from one place, you. Clarity is not just about declaring with granularity what you want, it's also about being clear on what you're going to do specifically to make it happen. When someone doesn't have clarity on what they're going to do, they often use the phrase, I'll try. I'll try to convince the finance team to release the payment to the vendor. But the phrase I'll try indicates a lack of confidence. So clarity comes from splitting the phrase into I want and I will. I want the finance team to be convinced to release the payment to the vendor. So what I'll do is I will call the head of finance, let them know that the vendor has called 3 times, show them the emails with the contract terms that commit us to paying, and ask them for a timeline by which they can release the payment. If they do not seem convinced, I'll speak to the finance director and let her know the situation. I want refers to the outcome that may or may not happen. I will refers to the decisions that are within my control. Sometimes we try to create false confidence by replacing the phrase I'll try with I will. And that again indicates a lack of clarity. For example, if I tell my boss, I'll try to achieve my target of 20 million, and he raises his eyebrows and says, I'll try, then I might assert more forcefully and say, no, boss, I will achieve my target of 20 million. The obvious question is, how? Just by changing the words I'll try to I will doesn't mean you've magically got clarity. Again, for clarity, you need to break up the fake confidence I will into I want and I will. I want to consistently achieve my yearly target of 200 million. So what I'll do is appoint a new distributor in my biggest contributing city by the end of the month. That's a lot closer to clarity. Another way of avoiding clarity is to miss out on the time element. I want to focus on my health is not a statement of clarity. A statement of clarity would be, I'm going to jog for half an hour on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. I want to spend more time with my family is not a statement of clarity. A statement of clarity might be, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday, I'm going to spend time with my kids. I'm not going to open my laptop on Sundays.